actually, as a whole, I feel as though this show does have echoes of Leave It to the Man.
Okay.
I mean?
Yeah.
It has echoes of that because you see that most of our main characters are male. Most of the very strong characters are male. And I'm not saying that this is going to ruin the show for me by any means.
No.
I'm just
we fully said it
pointing
passes,
it out.
so.
Right? Like the whole point of the Bechdel test is not to demean any show in any way.
No.
It's just to point it out because it needs to be pointed out sometimes.
Mm.
So it does echo that sentiment.
Like everything that you said, I do think that the girls and the women in the show don't get as much screen time or fleshed out backstory than the other male side characters. They just don't get as much attention. And I think that is important to point out. Why don't you start us off about fan servicey stuff?
So I actually appreciate the amount of fan service in this show. And it's because it feels as though the creators of this show have an awareness about just how much fan service is often given to female characters. So, for example, even episode 1 of the season, the swimming scene or the swimming episode when Mineta and Kaminari rent the pool just to see the girls in their bathing suits, and the plot, like the comedic plot twist is that nope. It's the dudes. Like the dudes are all like taking their shirts off and the girls are in like their one pieces. It's pretty comical, but it does feel as though the creators are like, we're not going to go there. Let's go a different direction.
Yeah, we're not going to do the scene with the girls in the bikinis.
Exactly. And on that note, I kind of appreciate the presence of a character like Mineta. And I know that he gets harped on a lot. Honestly, it's not like I like his character or anything. Yeah. I just appreciate his presence because he says really a lot of things that I think conventional, more fan servicey series would have milked the heck out of. But this way, BNHA is able to keep the fan service regulated because through one character. Do you know what I mean? Like whenever Mineta is like, agree. I want to see the girls bathing, and he's like climbing up the wall. He always gets comedy gold. He always gets his retribution. You know, he gets scolded or he gets hurt.
Yes,
and we get the sense of Mineta purposefully being a character that is supposed to be annoying or particularly shameless. And so I like his character in the way that the show is able to tunnel all of the fan service through this one character and control it.
This is not to say that there is something inherently wrong with showing female bodies. Like there's nothing wrong with having a scantily clad female character. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It is only uncomfortable and problematic when it's clearly over-sexualized or it's clearly gratuitous or there's no acknowledgement from the characters themselves that it's wrong. You know, the fan service is...
There's a fine line to be drawn, to be honest, and it's hard to tread it. And so we're not purporting to say this is too much or this is too little. But
exactly.
I think that it is telling when a scene makes you feel uncomfortable versus a scene that makes you laugh. Exactly, so I think that there is a difference, even if the line is fine. So, okay. Setting aside everything about Ochako being so cute and best girl, I want to talk a little bit about her crush on Deku. To be honest, I really liked this.
I really liked it.
And I think that there are scenes that they explore. Like, BNHA is by no means a romantic show or a romantic comedy. And the romance is really, really kept to a minimum here. But there are moments that the show chooses to linger on. And so I just really like that, even though it's never put fully into the spotlight, there's never a big romantic gesture or a confession or anything. They choose to explore those emotions. And then during the licensing exam, she says, I have to put these emotions away for now. And that's not at all her being in denial of her emotions, but it's her recognizing, like, I'm in a situation of crisis right now. Like, I need to focus or I'm not getting my provisional license. I can't think about this. And these are all just various dimensions of having a crush on somebody, you know?
Yes. I agree. Okay. There's something about Ochako that I loved from day one. I don't know what it is. I think it's just that when I think about a shonen heroine, they always fall flat because I think a lot of the times they are easily reduced to love interest or damsel in distress. But I think with this show, it's established really early on that Ochako has her own aspirations that are driving her forward and that are completely independent from any other character. And I like that she doesn't develop explicit romantic feelings for him until this season.
Right.
Until much later. Because I think if they were to do that for her as a side character, like to immediately have her have a crush on Deku, like it would have become a defining part of her character. But now that we only see it in season 3, it feels a lot more organic because her eventual crush on Deku is more a result of feelings of, it stems more from feelings of admiration instead of, I don't know, other shallow stuff. Like she really admires Deku and then she sees it slowly trickling into a crush.
In my notes I've written, Ochako realizing she has a crush on Deku? No, I'm dead. Call an ambulance. But for me...
You sent me a picture of that.
Let's also maybe talk about Momo a little bit.
Yes.
Why don't you start this one off?
Sure. Okay, so Momo, I mean, I've already said I do like Momo's character. I like that she is really smart. I like the little arc that she goes through in previous season 1 maybe. Momo's costume is the most revealing of all of the girls in the show. And there's in-world justification for why she has this like open V-neck thing. It's because her quirk, she needs to create things from her lipids or something. So she needs to have that skin open for her to be able to. So I get that. And so it used to make me uncomfortable because I was like, oh, why do they have to do this for her? Why do they have to bring so much attention to her teenage body? But I do think that from what we see with the other girl characters, not all of them are treated that way. Not all of them get that kind of like, sometimes it's very obvious when the male gaze is present in a character design. So I do think that there's justification for her costume being that way. I will say though that I don't know why. I feel like there was a potential here for her character design to be not necessarily as traditionally stick skinny, because if her quirk is that she makes things from her lipids, like shouldn't she have like, not 0% body fat?
Yes.
Shouldn't she be a little bit more stocky or just like have a little bit more meat on her bones? I don't know. I think it was just potential for them to do varying character designs, varying body types for the girl characters, because we see varying body types for the boys. Yeah. Some of them are bigger. Yeah. Some of them are taller. Yes. Hey. So I think for the girls, it's like not all of them have to be hourglass figure or everything like that. But yeah, that's all I had to say about it.
I definitely agree with all your points about Momo. I'm really glad that she was among the 5 that went to go save Bakugo. Because
yes, I love that she was there.
That shows... It was just a good opportunity to show her what she's all about, who she really is. And that she's not just going to be confined to the outskirts, to the fringes of Class 1A,
I agree. I think I don't like it when the female characters don't get to be there for the climactic main story parts of a show, because it's kind of like, oh, so they're just there for what? Like, just to be in the background, just to be there for comedy relief. So it's really nice when the female characters get to be a part of the action.